What's up, y'all? Your girl, Sandy, and yeah, this is one of those random videos that I wanted to share with you guys. If you guys follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, y'all already know that I was asked to speak at an event called Be Your Own Boss, BYOB, as it were, here in St. Louis, Missouri. And I actually spoke at the event and wanted to share that speech with you since so many of you guys wanted to see the entire thing. I hope it inspires you guys. Remember, this is the first time I've ever spoken in front of a large group like this in my life. So hope you enjoy, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Sande Stevenson.
Hello, how y'all doing? Good. Oh, I love hearing that. Y'all having a great morning this morning? Yeah. Y'all having a good time? All right. Okay. So I'm a little different here. You know, I'm getting to the prepared, as you guys can see. I don't even know cards. I have them in my purse, but I said I'm just going to go off the dome. So I apologize if I come across I'm kind of loud. Okay, so just to kind of give you guys an intro to who I am. A lot of you guys who watch Channel 4 at some point in the last year may know me as Sande Stevenson. I was actually a traffic reporter on Channel 4 for a little over a year. So some of you guys may recognize me, although I'm blind now. I changed my hair a lot on the show as well. Did that for a little while. And a lot of people on the internet know me as Socialite Sandy, and as you were saying earlier, that's essentially my brand. So just to kind of give you a little backgrounder and some of the things that I kind of strive for as far as what I hope to give to you guys today. I'm going to give you a little bit of how I kind of got to where I am. It was kind of an accident, but it was an accident that was on purpose. I really believe that. I really believe I'm meant to empower people and do it in my own way. And you'll understand when I say that, what I mean when I say that, all right? Basically, I kind of started out, I've always been crazy, a little cray-cray, most of the time, pretty much all my life. Even when I was a kid, I was like Miss Entertainment, we'd be at Pizza Hut eating with my parents, we'd be sitting there with everybody, and I'd be on the table dancing and that kind of thing, and that's always been my nature. I've always been a little bit cray-cray, and I grew up in a very, very, very strict background. My parents are both Haitian. I'm Haitian American. Of course, I was born here. Was raised in Haiti for a little while, but came back here and was born and raised here. So if any one of you guys have Haitian parents or have foreign parents or whatever the case, we deal specifically a lot with being kind of told what we're supposed to be doing. And one of the things that was ingrained in my head was to become a doctor. And it's very prominent in the Haitian community to become a doctor. So when I was growing up, I really didn't have much of a social life, and then ended up going to college. And in doing so, my parents automatically assumed that I was going to go to school and go into pre-med. And so what had happened was I had started that way. And so what happened was I had changed my major and didn't really tell them until I graduated that I had changed from pre-med to communications after graduation to me. So, but the reason why I did that was because, one, my parents really didn't understand what I wanted to do. It was very much ingrained in their head for me to go into medicine. That was just what it was. At the time, too, there wasn't as much opportunity, especially for foreigners, so that's what they felt was the best way and the best route for me to go as a black woman. And that just was not my passion. I love people, but I love people in a different way. I don't know that I was ready for that type of journey, And I don't know if the medical field was ready for all that either. So basically changed my major to communication studies. I actually went to, don't nobody say nothing, okay? I went to KU. Don't you even. Mizzou, I don't want to hear it. All right? Rock chalk though. Rock chalk. Anyway, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Anyway, I didn't want to get stoned. So, went to KU and, of course, graduated in communication studies. And, went about it the way, I guess, most everybody was told to go. My parents automatically, once they found out and kind of, took it all in that I had taken and got my communications degree, okay, it's time to go into corporate America, which I really didn't want to do and I never wanted to do to begin with, but I had a degree and I felt at the time that's what I had to do. I already just wanted to go one way, so I figured, let's go. And I had to be on my own and start to make money, so that's what I did. I went to corporate America. I actually worked at one of the top PR agencies in the country for a while. Worked at several different PR agencies, promotional companies, eventually ended up in event planning, and I'm very good at those things, but I was never, ever satisfied. Never, ever satisfied. Absolutely hated being told what to do. And it's no shade to anybody that is in that position in corporate America, but I'm assuming most of you guys that are here are trying to do something a little different, you know what I mean? But again, no shade to those who absolutely love corporate America. That just wasn't my thug thistle, as I like to call it. So, absolutely hated hierarchy, absolutely hated that, but I knew there was something more for me to do, but I still had to pay the bills, you know what I mean? And so throughout this journey, you know, I was getting laid off, I was getting fired, I was getting laid off, because it just, nothing really fit and suited me, you know, and I never really felt like I fit anywhere. And that's probably one of the strangest places to be, especially when you feel like you're extremely misunderstood, and that's where I was. But, you know, I still had to continue to work, I still had to do what I had to do, and eventually got to a point where, you know, I got laid off from my last job in corporate America, and I was like, oh Lord, I can't do this no more, you know what I mean? But again, you know, you still have to pay the bills. So I wasn't really necessarily ready to take that leap of faith as far as, you know, entrepreneurship and being on my own. And again, I didn't know exactly what I was supposed to be doing either. So that being said, in the process, throughout the time that I was in corporate America, I actually had started shooting video. I've always been the company photographer amongst my family and friends. So anybody who needed a photo or video or whatever the case, I was always the one taking it. Always the one shooting pictures and sending them out to everybody whenever we had social events and things like that. And in the day and age that digital cameras came out and, you know, you have a little video feature, I started using it. Not very many people knew to use it, but I was just messing around with it. And so I would just shoot little moments of family and friends, funny moments. And I probably did that for like 4 or 5 years. It's all throughout the time I was in corporate America. And I just did it for ish and giggles, you know what I mean? So I would just send the videos out to family and friends by email. And so that's kind of just how that started. So I did that kind of thing. And people absolutely loved it because they were just funny moments. Eventually I got some editing software that was free on the internet. Started editing it, just making it kind of funny. And, you know, just having a little fun at my friends' expenses, of course. But it was fun, you know. And, but, you know, spam kind of got into, you know, became a situation. And eventually I just kind of stopped because I was like, well, I don't want to spam people out, you know. And when I stopped doing it, people were kind of like, where are the videos at? We really like seeing the videos and that kind of thing. So, you know, that being said, from there I was like, okay, I love doing that. I did miss doing the videos. I did miss taking the photos and that kind of thing. I was like, what am I going to do with it, right? And there were a couple of different internet sites that you could upload videos on, okay? One being, I think Via was one of them that I was doing that on for a minute, and then it was really hard to manipulate and maneuver, and I didn't really like it too much. And then I also heard of YouTube, okay? And I really wasn't very familiar with YouTube at all. I just knew a lot of people who were starting to upload videos there. So I thought, I'm just going to go ahead and start a YouTube channel, okay? And I started TheSocialiteLife. So that's my YouTube channel. That's my main YouTube channel, okay? And it's basically, I just was like, I am going to just talk about things that I enjoy. I'm going to share the moments with my family and friends. I'm going to kind of, you know, allow people to kind of be in my world a little bit and do it my way, you know? And I also get a lot of questions about hair and makeup and beauty-related things, and I get them all the time, and it would be a great place and outlet for me to kind of talk about that stuff. Plus, I love talking about celebrity gossip. Like, that was one of the things that everybody knew me for was, you know, oh, what did Beyonce say? And I'd be like, oh, girl, child, you know. And it would just be what we always did, and it was kind of just, that's just how I've always been. So all of those things were going to be put on that channel, right? At the time, I didn't know you could do anything money-wise on there. I had no idea. I started the YouTube channel just with the intent of sharing the links with people as opposed to sending these big videos by email and spamming people out or whatever, you know what I mean? And just kind of started from there. So that was back in 2010. And basically started doing just random videos. The first video I put out, I didn't even know what the heck I was going to talk about. I just knew I was going to just try to start doing something on here. Little did I know, there were a lot of people on YouTube that are making a lot of money. I had no idea. Didn't really know much about the internet, didn't know how to edit video. I had no idea what the heck I was doing. I was just winging it. And as time went on, it just kind of slowly but surely grew. Still in the process, still working, still doing what I had to do. As time went on and my YouTube channel grew, I was actually approached to audition for the job at Channel 4. And that was because they saw some of the work that I did on YouTube. And it wasn't even necessarily work that I did related to what I did as a traffic reporter. It was literally just me being a goofball on video, talking about the things that I love to talk about. Makeup, beauty, fashion, reality TV, those types of things. And for some reason, they liked that personality, which I was like, I don't know if they're ready for all this yet. But they still offered me the opportunity to audition. So hesitantly, and I'm saying this carefully, hesitantly I went and auditioned. I wasn't even going to, I'm being real here, I really wasn't going to audition, to be completely honest, because I never wanted to really pursue anything television-wise that would necessarily put me in a box. So I knew as a news anchor, a traffic reporter, or whatever the case, I already knew going in there was a chance they were going to tell me, you got to keep your hair the same, you're going to have to look the same at all times, you're going to have to filter some of the stuff that you say, and as you can probably tell, I'm extremely unfiltered. My YouTube channel is extremely unfiltered, you know, and that's always been my brand and how I live my life. And, you know, even when I auditioned, and this is me being completely real, I straight up was like, just so y'all know, I'm a loud woman. Y'all ready for this? Like, seriously told them that. And, you know, throughout the process, I was auditioning against people that truly had been in the business for years, had been on the news. I'd never done anything on the news before. That was actually my first shot at doing it ever. Had never had a lick of experience. So I went through a whole process spiritually, mentally, physically, through that whole audition process. Cried throughout the whole daggone process because I had overcome a lot of fears. And I got the job. And I got it over people that have been in the industry for years, right? And you would think I'd be happy. I wasn't. I got the job, and the thing that I loved the most was the fact that I was in front of people talking. And I was able to make people laugh, and that's what I strove to do. And I would go in there every day with the intention of making people laugh. Not to report the traffic, because honestly, I still use navigation to this day. So I don't know what the hell they have. I'm just being real. The first thing that my best friend said, but you heard I got the job, she was like, Heifer, you use navigation. Okay? And don't get your butt fired. That's what I got the text message when I got the job. But she was being real. I can use navigation at all times, and I'm telling people what to do. All right, the problem already. Y'all, I hope I didn't get none of y'all lost. As time went on, you know, really progressed in the job, and that was the part that I loved, was making people laugh, and that was really what the purpose was me being there, you know, basically, that's how I looked at it. And I loved interacting with the people, made a lot of great friends out there, but I still wasn't fulfilled. I just felt like it just wasn't enough, and as you might have told, as you might have already saw on the news, if you noticed, I changed my hair a lot. I wasn't supposed to do that. So they told me you were supposed to go short hair and it was supposed to be jet black. Y'all, I walked in with blonde streaks, ombre. My hair was red one day, then it was black, then it was curly, then it was straight. I mean, look, I told myself I was never going to do nothing to put me in a box, okay? And I strive for that. So in October of this past year, you know, I was coming back from Chicago. My husband's in the back and he was in the car when this happened. And we're coming back from Chicago and I got an email on my iPad. I'm just looking because the next day I'm supposed to go to Channel 4. I'm supposed to go on air. So I go on my iPad and I'm like, that's what I said. We're going to filter that. That's what I said, because then I heard it was an email related to some other people at the station. But people that were kind of more along the personality lines of me, okay? And it was related to them not being on air no more. And granted, it didn't say nothing about me, but I knew my time was coming, so I was like, okay, just be prepared for whatever. So here's what happened. The next morning, went in, hair was looking a hot mess, okay? Had my makeup on, had my outfit on, ready to go. It's early in the morning, butt crack, you guys know, I get up early, I got up early for the show. And then I get someone coming over, the boss, who's never there that early in the morning, was there. And I was like, oh, snap, right? So he comes over, saying, can I see you in my office? I was like, right? So I go into the office. And they told me that, you know, and granted we had a wonderful relationship, still have a great relationship, but there's no place here now for you because, you know, we have some new things going on, new management, that kind of thing. And there's a lot of changes that they've made since then. What was so crazy about the whole experience is that when they told me that, I had a smile on my face the whole daggone time. And it wasn't that I was being a jackass, to be completely honest. It was because I knew that wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. And granted, it was an amazing opportunity, and I loved every single person that I worked with, and we had a great working relationship, and I left on great terms. It wasn't for me, okay? Came home, the first thing I did, and y'all gonna think I'm crazy, the first thing I did, turned my camera on, and sat in front of the camera. I had just gotten laid off, lost my damn job, hadn't told my husband or my family I ain't got no money coming in. Sat in front of the camera and said, look y'all, your girl lost a job. In 2 seconds, I uploaded the video as soon as I walked in the house, and that video like went cray-cray, okay? And at that point, I'm like, look, I ain't got no job, I have no money coming in. It's one income household. YouTube was making me a little bit of money, but now I gotta do something. Because honestly, I don't want to go back to that. I'm not trying to get laid off again. I'm not trying to get fired again. That's not what I want to do. And I worked my black A off, you hear me? And really evolved as a vlogger, as an internet personality. Started another YouTube channel that I vlog on every single day. That's TheSocialiteLife TV. I get to make people laugh every single day for a living. And I can talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about. All that is to say, please don't let nobody put you in a damn box. Don't let nobody tell you what the hell you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to get there and how you're supposed to make money. You do you, boo-boo. Do what you want to do. Because at the end of the day, they're not the one making the money, you are. And if you're not happy with the money that you're making and how you're making it, you do what you can to change that. That being said, okay, don't you go quitting your job and you got to bring income. You know, when you're on the street, coming to talk about it says go. Don't want to be like that, okay? The point is, you do what you have to do. You work your little day job, you shut your job and do what you have to do. Whatever you got to do to make that check, to pay them bills. All the while, you work your plan. You hear me? Okay? My situation was different. I turned a tragedy, what most would consider a tragedy of losing their job, into a triumph, but not everyone's story is that way. So that being said, don't jump until you're ready, okay? And until you have some money set aside or your business is doing enough, working to sustain itself. But do what you gotta do in the meantime and work your plan. And again, don't let nobody put you in a box, y'all. All right?
So was you spunky enough for you? Give it up one more time for Sande. I needed that. Thank you so much.